Hi guys, it's Ray here from City Fan TV. Hope you're all very, very well tonight. It's I've got to work it out. Tuesday, 9 o'clock in the UK, and we're here to talk about Man City. Give you another Manchester City news update. So, what are we going to talk about tonight? Besides, as usual, answering some of your questions, we'll talk a little bit about David Alaba, Sergio Aguero, and his fitness. Will he play in the Champions League knockout stage mini tournament? Ferran Torres, what's he been saying in his first interview with Manchester City? David Silva, what are his plans? Nicholas Otamendi, what are his plans? Claudio Bravo, what are his plans? So that's what we're going to be looking at tonight. Might talk. Well, I'll start off with a little bit about Douglas Luiz and what we've done for the channel today. If you saw today, we had the Douglas Luiz video out looking at Douglas Luiz at Villa, how he's improved over the season, how much Pep really wanted him at City, and whether it's worthwhile getting him back from Villa right now. Should we wait till next summer? The rumours are that we've got a £25 million buyback clause this summer, 30 million next summer, and then it expires. I don't know about the sell-on clause, but Douglas Luiz, guys, please go and watch that video. I think it's, I work with a guy called Matt. Now Matt used to be a sports journalist, a big Villa fan, so he helped me put that together. I think it's a decent piece of work, and the feedback so far, apart from one Villa fan, the feedback has been really positive, because I basically asked the question: is he now too big for Aston Villa? There's other clubs knocking on the door, having a look at him. Is he too big for Aston Villa? Should City be looking at getting him back? I'm thinking maybe next summer when Fernandinho goes. Douglas Luiz seems to be in a similar mould. He might have even a little bit more flavour than Fernandinho, but he's in a defensive mould. Evening, Danny Tuami. Hi, Faris. Hi, Aaron. Aaron always wants to sign them all up. Hi, Chris Welch. Hi, Chris Linley. Phenomenal St. Julian's, and Adam. Guys, thank you so much for coming on board. Give us a thumbs up. Let's get the evening started off in a positive frame. Let's get those likes up to 10 very, very quickly, and moving on from there. So, yeah, if you want to talk about Douglas Luiz, we can do that as well. We are going to get into stuff. Let's get on, see what Simon Bajowski's been saying about Sergio Aguero. And in the Manchester Evening News, he's saying Man City will have to plan without Sergio Aguero for the Champions League knockout tournament. But it looks like he might not be able to do it on the pitch. And I talked about this for basically since he's been injured. When I knew it was a meniscus injury, knee injury, he had an operation, I think the day after, within 2 days of the injury. I said it'd be very unlikely he'd be back. The best we can hope for. And with not even knowing the severity, which we still don't know the severity of the injury, because obviously we're not party to this information. I said it's very unlikely he'll be figuring at all. Manchester Evening News seem to say the same. They say Man City will have to plan without Sergio Aguero as they look to make Champions League. Aguero's been asked about June by Barcelona. He's been included in the squad for the mini tournament, and he's expected to join up with the squad in Lisbon. But because he's a popular, experienced member of the dressing room, but it looks like he's not going to be fit enough to take part. And we've not done too badly with Gabby J as it is. So it is what it is. I don't think I expected him to be back, and it looks like he's not going to be around. That's what the Manchester Evening News seem to be saying. Moving on to David Alaba, Bayern Munich chief makes David Alaba contract claim amid Man City transfer links. David Alaba's in his last year of his contract at Bayern Munich. I mean, technically, he's got till next, till next June, end of May, June time. So well into the last year. He hasn't signed a new contract. He's a left back who can play centre back. He's been playing centre back this season. He's 28 years old. If you could get him, I think you pay him a decent wage as a signing on bonus, 20-30 million quid, excess wages, but it's still a lot cheaper than if you had to go out and buy David Alaba now at 28, and if you had a 3 or 4 year contract, you'd be paying, I reckon, somewhere in the region of 80 million quid for him. So it could work out really well. But Bayern Munich, according to Manchester Evening News again, have put a dent in any plans that Man City may have had to try and sign David Alaba this summer. Now, we know Alaba's worked with Pep when Pep was there for 3 years. We know he's a potential target. He's got that versatility, that flexibility, that experience, and that ability, top-class ability to play centre-back and left-back. But Manchester Evening News say that City are not actively pursuing Alaba, but might go in for him. We're buying to make him available for transfer. But he's only got 1 year left in his contract. Just do it. Now, Bayern chief executive Karl-Heinz Rummenigge has revealed he is cautiously optimistic that Alaba will sign a new contract extension with the Bundesliga champions. He said, with Alaba, I'm cautiously optimistic we will find a solution. That's what he told the media on Tuesday. That's today. But Alaba's only got less than a year left in his existing deal. Rummenigge's comments come just weeks after he insisted the defender is not for sale this summer. But look, let's be honest. Given the option between selling him for 20 or 30 million now or letting him go for free next summer, I think that's a no-brainer for Bayern Munich. Anyway, this is what he said to Sky Germany. He said, first of all, I have to say about David that he had a great season. Okay, it was born of necessity that he had to play at centre-back because we had several injuries, and then Hansi Flick put him in this position. Hansi Flick's manager. He did it with flying colours. We haven't had a chief in defence for some time now, one who really takes the reins in hand and sets the tone there and simply acts as the head of the defensive unit. He did that. This has to be seen, especially in these coronavirus times, in these empty stadiums. His instructions showed how well he organised it at the back. Even with his style of play, he's a very, very important player for us. We don't need to talk about that. I'm nevertheless optimistic that at the end of the day, we will find a solution that David will even end his career here. He is the first player to play again at this level like Franz Beckenbauer back then. Taking the reins, I think David knows what he has at Bayern and he knows what we have in David. Yeah, but look, I mean, look at what Leroy Sané did. You know, he knew the score. He moved on. If Pep really wants him, he covers two positions, as I said, the left back and centre back. What's not to like? You know, put a bid in 20 million quid, see what Bayern do, see whether they will stick or twist. David Silva, he's apparently, we've said he's going to join Lazio, a 3-year deal. That's a long time, you know, where I said he can still play at the top level, for a year or two more. He's what, 34 now, 33, 34? You know, he's 34. Yeah, he's quite old. So, but it looks like he's joining Lazio after on a 3-year contract. But the thing is, he'll get a massive financial long-term security because he's going to get as usual, he'll get a signing on bonus. That might be 10, 20 million quid. And he'll be earning at least 10 million quid a year, I reckon, maybe even 15. So he could walk out of this with a gross over 50 million pounds. You know, after tax, he could still end up with about 25, 30 million quid. So it's a cracking deal for him. You know, he wouldn't have played 3 more years at City. He'd have got that 1 year because we offered that contract extension for 12 months. But, you know, with Nicholas Otamendi looks like he's going to Valencia. That's what the rumours are. So that'll be interesting to see if he ends up at Valencia. Looks like he's going to move on. You know, look, we've got Nathan Ake we just bought, young for the future as well as now. We've got obviously Almeric Laporte already. We've got, you know, Garcia may stay, may go. Otamendi knows if Garcia stays, he's behind Garcia. We're looking at Koulibaly on another main centre back. Where does that leave Otamendi? 5th choice. It's not worth it for him. So yeah, it looks like he's going to be shifting on. He's 32 years old. He joined us from Valencia 5 years ago, and according to the Argentine journalist Agustin Celio, he's set to return to La Liga side, turning down multiple other offers to do so. It's reported that the negotiations between the two clubs are at an advanced stage, and that Otamendi's first club, Vélez Sarsfield, will receive 5% of the fee. Claudio Bravo looks like he's going to Spain to join Real Betis. where our old fella manager Manuel Pellegrini is. So it looks like Claudio Bravo is going there. And I think that's pretty much all the news that I had. I've got the Ferran Torres. I'll see what you guys are saying, then I'll come back to Ferran Torres and talk about him. Hi, Zidane. Ferner leaves. Louise is simple. Absolutely formidable Centurions. In Jesus, we trust, says Aaron. Danny, BAA, how you doing, buddy? Sorry, not been on for. Hey, no worries, mate. We've had some cracking streams, Danny. You missed some crackers, and we've missed you. It's been fantastic. Last few weeks, loads of people on. Formidable Centurions. That's why City must sign a top striker now. Absolutely. We need something different. All we've got right now is we've got two options. We've got Gabby Jesus up top or a false nine. We've not got Sergio Aguero. We've not got a tall striker. We need to make sure that we're ready for the departure of Sergio, and also to offer a different alternative. Faris, I think, sign a striker when Aguero leaves if he doesn't renew. The risk is, Faris, you sign somebody and it takes them a year to settle down. If it takes them a year to settle down, that's a huge, huge problem. Hi, Miss Melina. I hope you're well, and well done on Arsenal winning the FA Cup, beating City on the way, beating Sheffield United in the quarterfinal, City in the semi-final, and Chelsea in the final. So well done, Arsenal. That gets you into Europe next season. It would be very interesting to see how Arteta does. But going back to the Aguero thing, Paris, if you get somebody, let's say it's like Cancelo, struggles in the first season. Mahrez wasn't hot in the first season. Bernardo wasn't explosive in the first season. I want someone here for a season to get their feet under the table, to get the rhythm, to understand how Pep wants to play, so they're ready for when Aguero leaves, rather than get somebody in, find out it takes them a year to settle, and in that year we've lost out on major trophies. Danny's asking, is Alaba right or left footed? I don't actually know. I suspect he's left footed because he plays left back. Hi, Harry Mills. Hope you're well, buddy. Zidane, to be honest, I would develop Lucas Nemecha. No chance, Zidane. Lucas Nemecha, I mean, he's going around, been bumped around on loan. He was on loan at Wolfsburg. He's been at, was it Preston, Middlesbrough? No. He's far too young, far too inexperienced, and not good enough. Now, in 2 or 3, 4, 5 years' time, he might be. But, Aguero's got a huge boots to fill, and you need, I think, a top-class person coming through. And I don't think that Nemecha is ready for that. Harry's saying that Alaba's left-footed, which is what I would suspect. Melina is a Gunners fan. Nice to have you, Melina. Everybody's welcome here. Faris, I forgot that Alaba is a left-footed centre-back. If moved out of position, that means we have 3 left-footed centre-backs, Laporte, Ake, and Alaba, who can play at centre-back. That's an issue. For me, it's not a massive issue. If we're getting Alaba as a left-back, it's not an issue for me. If we're getting Alaba as a left-back, no problem. Absolutely no problem. He's covering at centre-back at a push. But if we get him as a left-back, we've got that flexibility, that versatility. We're not looking at him as a centre-back first and foremost, looking at him as a left-back first and foremost. Maybe that would end up with Stones leaving as well. Alaba is a blue air, and hey, who isn't? Beyond Ultra Gaming, having no Aguero will be tricky, but I don't know why, but I think we can do it. Look, let's be honest. We've done it without Aguero against Real Madrid. So if we can do it against Real Madrid, we should be able to do it against anybody. George Faris, Alaba is a quality. His quality. Pep could play 3 at the back. Hey. See, Haj, always thinking. You can have Walker on the right. You can have Laporte in the middle and Alaba on the left. Fantastic idea. Immobile is going to be getting a few assists next season from El Maggio, says Danny. I think so. Premier League is the hardest is for Middle Centurions. GSG, hi, buddy. Hope you're well. George Laporte, Alaba, another player. Can play centre-back and Ake as sub. Look, we could have a cracking back 3 of, let's say, Koulibaly, Laporte, and Koulibaly, Laporte, and Alaba. In front of them, you can have Cancelo and Walker. Why not? Formidable Centurions. Who wouldn't love having Merlin? Absolutely. He's just top draw. You see Spartak Moscow tweet about Otamendi. No, I haven't, Danny. I haven't seen that at all. Why aren't you happy, JSG? You come on, you spill the beans. San Naki means no Alaba says Formidable Centurions. I'm not so sure. If Alaba's available for 20 million quid, I'd be in. Mark Armstrong, nothing on Koulibaly. Not heard a dicky bird today on Koulibaly, I'm afraid. We have to wait a little bit longer. I mean, I think the next big news will be after the Champions League game at the weekend. I've seen a few times we're not chatted like after Madrid, Danny. All right, mate, no problems. But it's got some good stuff coming up. Good stuff. I'll let you know. I've done that Douglas Luiz video. Please check that Douglas Luiz video out. It's got well over 100 views already. And it's got a lot of good, generally positive feedback. I'm interviewing some Lyon fans tomorrow and another one on Thursday. So this, tomorrow's interview might come out tomorrow or it might come out on Thursday. It's going to be during the day. So I was supposed to be interviewing them tonight, but they had to cry off. So that's this week's. And then I've got loads of videos that I've still got planned. So a lot of stuff coming out, guys. Just got to squeeze in the time somewhere. Which Arsenal player would you have at City? Miss Molina, probably the only. Obviously, the easy one to say, the boring one is Aubameyang. That's a standard. But I like the look of Saka. Maitland-Niles has got something about him. And Nketiah has got something about him. But, if you want someone who's experienced, who's there, the only one I'd look at is Aubameyang, not Pepe, not who's it one? Lacazette, no, just Aubameyang. Spend while we can, says Harry, absolutely. Arsenal player, sorry, but Formidable Series would have none. Kobe, so I'm basically watching a Sevilla Wolves mainly because of this Diego Carlos block who we are being linked with. And I must say, whoever it is, job is to scout defenders for City needs to take what happened, Kobe? Take a walk. We can have 2 CDM, says Beyond Not Given, absolutely. We sometimes play with against Real Madrid, we played with Gundogan and Rodri. We need more versatile players. I said the other day, there's a risk having players who are too versatile. Sometimes it's best to just have someone who plays in one position and that's it. 100 points isn't for everybody. Absolutely. If we sign Alaba, why sign Ake? Alaba's a left back. That's the way I'd look at Alaba. Alaba's a left back, and I'd want him to play left back. Beyond also giving for Kun when he's injured. We need somebody. To replace Kun. We've got by with. I think we've got by with Gabby J. Maybe this will be the making of Gabby J. Maybe he'll be learning so much, and the experience and the confidence that Pep has in him makes the difference. Who else misses Delph a bit? Maybe his aggressiveness and shit, but not his defensive qualities. Thoughts on Joel Latibaudier? I liked him. He's a good, solid player. I think he was under 17 captain. But look, there's not many spaces at City. That's always going to be the problem. And the kids, you have to be a special talent to make it at City. And sadly, some people aren't. Some stuff on the City website now because it's Torres and Ake that's on the City website. Let's have a quick look at Ferran Torres to see what he's got to say. Ferran Torres, this is on City's website. Ferran Torres revealed Man City captain David Silva is an inspiration to him in his first interview since signing for the club. The 20-year-old winger has followed in Silva's footsteps as a prodigiously talented Valencia Academy graduate who swapped Estadio de Mestalla for the Etihad Stadium. Torres says he has always looked up to the departing midfielder who was a star of Los Che. well, I can't say that, lost Che, when the youngster first entered their academy. He said, when I started at Valencia, he was enjoying his best time at the club, Torres told City TV. He was always an inspiration, and then when he moved to City, where he's been playing his best football, I've always admired him. Torres also discussed why City style suits him and why he feels Pep Guardiola can get the best out of him, as well as telling us about his dogs and tattoos. So if you want to go and watch that video is on the City website. There's lots of places to put out bits and pieces of what he's been saying. You can go and ask him a question if you want. All available on the Manchester City official website. Beyond Ultra Gaming, loved Del for his leadership and character. Didn't like him for his performances he put in. I got to agree there, buddy. Nathan Ake and Tosin Adarabioyo should be our second back line, says Zidane. I think Danny's agreeing with Beyond Ultra Gaming. But would have been better signing Alaba and Ake's money go for Jimenez? Possibility. Depends how highly you value Jimenez. Jimenez is 120 million quid or 120 million. If it's going to be over 100 million quid, are City going to pay that? Are City really going to pay that when they can get Ake and Alaba for 60 or 70 million? And Torres too, for under the price of Jimenez. Get Tosin playing. Hi, Jerome Mulcair. I'm all right, mate. Third white kit was released on Thursday. Was released or is released? Danny says, didn't like the third kit until I saw the backstory. Hey, Thomas Karakadsai. How you doing, buddy? Hope you're very well. I'm doing all right. Wearing my away kit. Busy times. I'll tell you what I did today. Okay. I don't want we are City Fan TV. We are the best YouTube channel out there. We are the ones who stick out a lot of content, and hopefully most of that content is decent content. There's no point putting a load of rubbish out all the time. But I also like to tell you, and some people like to know what I've been up to. So today I went to a place called Bake Up. Which is just past Whitworth. It's about 35-40 minutes from central Manchester, let's say, roughly. So went to Bake Up, and the reason I went to Bake Up, there's a park there called, you might have heard of it, you might not. It's called Stubby Lee Park. And I went to Stubby Lee Park today. I'd never been before, and I'll tell you the reason I went. The reason I went was today's the 11th of August, and if I'm correct, it's the 13th anniversary. It's a sad story. It's the 13th anniversary. And you might have heard the name, you might not. It depends how old you are. So a girl who was about 20 years old called Sophie Lancaster. She was a goth. She dressed as goth. Nothing wrong with that at all. And she was with a boyfriend in the park, and her boyfriend was attacked just because of the way he looked by a couple of guys. So he was attacked. She tried to protect him, defend him, and she was killed. She was attacked on the 11th of August. I think she died several days later, but she had, she was kicked in the head. And it was because they were different. They looked different. They dressed different. That's it. No other reason. So today I went up to Bake Up. I went up to Stubby Lee Park, and I made some bubbles. That's what I do. I've been out quite a lot recently, making bubbles for free. It's my job, but I also do a lot of work for free. So I went out a couple of times at the weekend, making bubbles in the park for people to watch and admire, and for some kids to play at safe distance. When there's a lot of wind, kids can stand 10 meters away and the bubbles will go down to them. So I went up to Stubby Lee Park, and I did something different. I did something different to show there's nothing wrong with being different. Whether you look different, act different, dress different, talk different, behave different, there's nothing wrong with that. And there's a lot of kids there, actually, and it was quite interesting. They got involved. They were there for destruction, playing the loud music, and you're a bit, it's about a dozen kids. And then the first one started to play with the bubbles, and I showed her how to blow inside a bubble. So it wasn't, I think the first one she popped, I said, no, you got to leave them. It's not just about popping. It's about creation. It's not about destruction. This is what I try and teach people. It's not all about destruction. If I make a giant, massive bubble, a huge bubble, it's not about destroying it. Watch it. Look at the colors. Look how the colors change as the bubble. It's got a life. It's got a short life expectancy. It's got a life of its own. Let it float around with the wind. Look at the colors and look at how they change as the bubble film gets thinner and thinner. And I said, create. And I showed her how to blow inside, and she loved it. And instead of popping the bubble, she was blowing inside whenever she could. Then another girl came along and she started, and then one of the guys came along, because look, bubbles for teenagers is a bit uncool. It can be uncool. But before you knew it, you got 6 or 7 of them joining in, and the rest were just watching. And then I do make lots of bubbles at once, where you're making like 100, 120 smaller bubbles at once. And I said, these are, you can pop. You're just making them, and they're just running through, enjoying themselves. Really had a great time, and it is just, you can be different. And there's nothing wrong with that. And then I finished off with a couple of ladies came with their kids, I think, and the kids played at, once again, social distance. They had an absolutely wonderful time. It's a wonderful time. And, it's not a lot to do. It was about half an hour drive for me. And to make so many people happy. And one of the girls said it's made her day. She said, I'm having just the best day. So that's what I was doing today. There's nothing wrong with being different. And people should be ready and willing to accept people are different. If you're not harming me, if you're not hurting me or anybody else, get on with it. There's not to, that's my belief. City have money to spend this summer. Let's go back to footy. Says the formidable student tuners. Absolutely, we already have. We spent about just over 60 million quid so far, or probably more than that, because we've got people like Yankuto, we've got Diego Rosa coming. We've got another kid I talked about a couple of days ago, Chao Rocky, I think his name is. We've got loads of kids coming. We've got that kid from Holland called Mickey Van Sass, who's a goalkeeper. So we got loads of players already. A lot of kids we're getting, a lot of kids. You'll hear about the big 2 transfers, but there's a lot of kids, and the kids have already cost us probably about 20, 30 million quid as well. Contributing training and helping Gabby to perfect his art. Well, beyond an ultra game, and he's injured. If he's still injured, he can't help him. He can be around. He can be around the squad when they're training, but excuse me, by the looks of things, he might not be ready to play. Barry says, I think Delph was solid. He's much better than Mendy and Cancelo, and he offers leadership. All that for a cheap price. Pep played him in the big games too. He trusted him, and he left. We didn't. And he left, he wanted to play more. Andy Gray says Jimenez is worth 30 million more. They're asking for about 4 times as much as that, or 3 times as much as that. Some miserable people, says Frank, and absolute idiots out there for nothing. I mean, I think one of the kids was 16. So he's been locked up now since a year after that, and he's still locked up. Haj says, well, I don't really think he's going to make any difference, Haj, what he tells them, really. I mean, Pep was at Bayern for 3 years as well, so they know some of our secrets. I don't think Sarni's going to tell him anything extra. And Sarni's not going to play. I mean, I just can't get my head around that. Absolutely, Aaron forever blowing bubbles. Faris, doubt that a young player like Sani can expose Pep's tactics. He won't even be in the squad. Exactly, guys. Is there anything else to talk about, guys? You let me know. I'm just trying to see if there's anything else that's massively worth talking about. Just reading silly things going on. Yeah. And So, yeah, the Husam thing, people are interested in that. Generally very positive. Most people want Husam. Obviously, the people who are a bit concerned, they're worried that for the future of Phil Foden, what's going to happen to him and others too. I'm just going to have a quick look to see if there's anything else out there. It's going to be very humid tonight. Wow. Apparently, Ferran Torres on seeing the Etihad pitch for the first time. Wow. Amazing. My new stadium. So he's... Go and have a check out on the official website when you get a chance, guys. Sounds really, really good what's going on. And it's very positive out there in Cityland. I'm going to wind down unless there's loads of questions coming because I'm tired. It's hot. It takes it out of you. Let's get through your questions, guys, or your comments. Bayern impossible to beat. Well, Liverpool did it twice last season. Don't get carried away. They might be a very, very good side and they've had a very, very good season. Lewandowski's been unbelievable. Was it 51 goals this season? But they are beatable. Give Tosin a chance. Bellis for Leeds on loan would be amazing. Wow. That would be. But I suppose it depends on what happens with City. And if Howard Bellis is sixth choice centre back, then I can see that as a very, very good option for him. But he's got to play. Bernardo Silva links to Barca. We talked about them yesterday, not or the day before. Not massively worried about that. Harches, he has a feeling that Barca can beat Bayern. Messi, Suarez, anything can happen. Danny says it isn't impossible that Liam can knock us out. I never underestimate someone. I never do. Even Arsenal, I was worried. I admitted that. I said I was less worried about Real Madrid at that game. And I was more worried about the Arsenal game than I was about the cast report. So... Thanks, Unbeatable Centurions. Beyond Ultra, that's true, though. Ajax were impossible to beat them, but Tottenham not to match. That's it. Cobby, we shouldn't even think about considering that Diego Carlos guy. Cobby's not impressed. Messi Molina, if you had to support any other team instead of City in the Prem, oof. If you ask me now who I would support, wow, that's a horrid question. I wouldn't want to be a glory hunter because when I started supporting City, I wasn't really a glory hunter. I was just copying my elder cousin. Who would I support? I like Wolves. I've always liked Wolves. So maybe without thinking about it too much, Wolves. But hey, I'm a City fan. That's it. Danny's non-City till I die. Well, I've gone with Wolves because I think they're moving forwards. I like teams who play it the right way. I wouldn't want to support Liverpool or United because I hated them growing up. Napoli had chances versus but everybody's going to have chances against everybody else. Was it a mistake to sell Denia to leave? I really did. But if the powers that be don't think he's good enough, fair dues. It wasn't the Nefarious 8. It was the Nasty 9 or the Nefarious 9. Wolves were one of them. But I'm not saying I'm going to support them now. Maybe when I was a kid, I might have been an Ipswich Town fan. I liked Ipswich Town back in the day. Leeds, I liked Leeds back in the day. Beyond Ultra Gaming, Bayern's weakness is similar to Real there. Fullback pushes high into the final third, so we can easily pick out their centre-back and then create room for the striker or KDB. Well, look what we did with against Real. In the second half when we put... Sterling against, was it Carvajal? Sterling was on the left. It got past him, no problem. They couldn't cope with it. So I hope we could cope again. Varchester United says, Chris, 21 penalties. 21 penalties. Not happy about that this season. That's more than, that's more than everybody else put together. Danny says, Leeds, I don't mind, but because they hate United. Yeah, I studied in Leeds. For a little while in the 90s. I studied in Liverpool and Leeds. So Liverpool in the late 80s and Leeds in the early to mid 90s. Leeds was 92 to 94, and Liverpool was, I went there in 87, left in 90. So actually the Leon fan I've got on Thursday, I'm speaking to someone, a Leon fan on Thursday. He's actually studying in Leeds. He's studying in Leeds right now. Kylian, no, I'm afraid there's no updates on Koulibaly. I've been checking the news. There's now, my feeling is there's not going to be anything until any news on anything else. I'll be surprised, until after the Champions League game at the weekend. We've got to be focused on that. Don't want to be talking about anything else. When it comes to press conference, they don't want to be talking about anything else except focus on Real Madrid. They don't want the press, the press people, the TV or the journalists to start talking about, oh, Koulibaly, you put a bid in for him. Nah, I just, I don't want them to be any distraction. They want their Europa League tie from an extra time penalty. But 21 penalties this season is absolutely ridiculous. Marshall's a diver, says Chris Welsh. He absolutely is. I think that Atlanta will beat PSG tomorrow, says Danny. That'd be interesting. One of the reporters is called James. I don't know what that comment was about GSGA. But Marshall, look, it's the way. I mean, I don't like it because he dived. But the referees have got to give penalties that are actual penalties. They've got to give them. If they were giving them every time, then the players wouldn't feel the need to dive. I hate diving. How are you going to stop it? If City could sign any player this window, who would you sign? Kylian. Wow. You guys are killing me tonight. Killing me. First Melina, Miss Melina, now Kylian. I'd still get Messi. As Danny just said, I'd still get Messi because, he's at 33. But look what he did to Napoli. Messi can still do it for another 2 or 3 seasons. Just to see him play week in, week out for City would be just amazing. A lot of people on about Mendy. What do you think? Ferran Mendy or Ben Mendy? Ben Mendy, for me, he's behind Cancelo right now. Definitely behind Cancelo. All Bruno Fernandes scores his penalties. Yeah, absolutely. That's why Bruno's overhyped. United fans compare him to KDB. Delusional. Messi's the best footballer I've ever seen. Ever. He's just incredible. He's just incredible. JSJ Mendy, not good enough. Unless he really steps up, he's not good enough. Sergio Messi would be, can you imagine that, Danny? Can you imagine that? Messi up front, Messi just wandering around where he wants. That's seriously dreamland. Chris Welch, Pogba and Bruno have been compared to KDB. Behave absolutely, it's ridiculous. Messi's better than Ronaldo. Absolutely, Faris. There's no question. Ronaldo's done amazing stuff with his talent. He's super fit, but Messi, natural ability is just out of this world. Out of this world. Now, guys, we're knocking on the head. We're up to 40 minutes. Please, if you're new to the channel, give us a subscribe, please. Hit that bell icon so you're notified as soon as new videos come out. Give us a thumbs up as well. It's always nice to be liked. And please go and watch that video I put out today. Go watch some of the old videos. There's a load of stuff out there, a load of playlists. And that video on Douglas Luiz, please go and watch it. It's interesting. Douglas Luiz, last year when I started the channel, his video, it was probably in August, end of July or August, when I did a video on Douglas Luiz, that's got me the most views on this channel. It's almost double the next highest. That one absolutely banged. I had about 300 subscribers, and that banged for about 8,500 views. It was quite incredible. So, guys, please go and check this one out. This one I'll be looking to get 250 views, but it'd be nice if you guys can go and check out Douglas Luiz video and just tell me what you think. Leave your comments in the comment section below. Guys, take it easy. Please Have a very safe evening, and I will catch you tomorrow, when hopefully tomorrow we'll have, obviously, the stream in the evening. We may have the Leon interview tomorrow as well. I just got to organise that. Guys, take care. See you tomorrow. See you around, Blue.